New in the Ukraine matter now. On this Monday morning, the head of Ukraine's new pro-Western government will meet with President Obama at the White House sometime this week. This is a defiant Russia tightens its grip on the Crimean Peninsula. And as the former Vice President Dick Cheney says, the president has been giving the world the wrong message. And has been doing that, in his words, for a very long time.
On a worldwide basis, potential adversaries and friends are watching how the administration handles this. And President Obama's got a steep hill to climb because he's been so feckless in responding to other crises. We had a situation in Syria not long ago. He put down a red line. Assad crossed the red line. He got ready to do something about it, announced he was going to move on it, talk to our allies about it, and at the last minute backed off.
That from yesterday. Senator John McCAIN today has been outspoken to the president's handling the crisis, and he's with us now in studio. Nice to see you here in New York, Bill. Senator, and welcome back to the crazy island of Manhattan.
I prefer being interviewed by Martha.
I'm certain you do.
We'll try to arrange that next time.
Drew the short straw today. Weakness, the Syrian situation is a classic. That's what Dick Cheney is saying. Give a grade to the president. How's he doing handling this?
Badly. Feckless. A total misreading of Vladimir Putin and his motives. I mean, this whole business of the reset and tell Vladimir, as it was said to Medvedev, tell Vladimir I'll be more flexible after I'm reelected, saying that this is not East-West and this isn't, this is not the 19th century. It's a failure to understand Vladimir Putin, who is an old Colonel, KGB apparatchik that wants to restore the Russian Empire. It was Vladimir Putin that said the greatest catastrophe of the 20th century was the breakup of the Soviet Union. And this constant idea that somehow he can be dealt with as friends or, you know, Friday a week ago, as Russian troops were going into Crimea, our Secretary of State talked to Lavrov, another old Cold Warrior, and Lavrov assured him that nothing was going on. So Kerry comes out and says, wow, we don't want any misunderstandings here. Meanwhile, they're going in.
Yeah, but is that a B? Is that a C? Is that a D? What's the grade?
Somewhere between a D and an F. I'm sure the president has done a lot of good things. Presidents do. But as far as dealing with Vladimir Putin and Russia, it is a total, absolute misreading and failure to understand who Vladimir Putin is.
Well,
and by the way,
President
Bush also did not read Putin well.
In 2008 on the Georgia matter, you believe, yeah.
Right.
Either Putin doesn't care or he's not listening, or both. What is it?
Putin does not believe there's any price to pay. And that's why when I watch the Sunday shows, including Fox, well, sort of happened. This sort of happened, you know. Stuff happens. Well, it's all got to do with Putin's conviction that, and confirmed belief, which has now been verified, that he can do whatever he wants to do. And I predicted this back many years ago. In fact, I said exactly, watch Crimea, because he was not going to give up Sevastopol, the major Russian naval base, which gives Russia access to the Mediterranean.
You mentioned the Sunday shows. Robert Gates was on with Chris Wallace. He was asked this question right here.
I do not believe that Crimea will slip out of Russia's hands.
You think Crimea's gone?
I do.
Is it lost?
I'm afraid so. I'm very afraid. Now,
if that's the case, then what comes next?
There's got to be very heavy.
Result of that?
Got to be very heavy prices to pay. And by the way, watch Eastern Ukraine, because I am worried that now Putin, after he's been so successful, may have some kind of de facto partition of Eastern Ukraine. And I don't know the answer to that. I predicted Crimea, but I don't know exactly what is going to have to happen. Restart the missile defense system that Obama canceled in order to placate Putin in the Czech Republic and Poland. Have military exercises with our Baltic friends. They're under enormous pressure from Putin. Bring Georgia and Moldova, both of whom are occupied, parts of which are occupied by Russia today, into NATO, and do it quickly. Sanctions on these oligarchs and these corrupt people that surround Vladimir Putin. I guarantee you, if they can't go to London with their kids and do all the things they can do, it can be extremely harmful. And from now on, look at this guy for what he is.
Yeah, would any of those measures get Putin out of Crimea?
No, no. No.
So it is lost.
Now we have to deal with the situation as it is. I'd love to tell you, Bill, that there's a military option that I can see. I don't see it. But now we have to understand what it is, and now what we need to do to go forward to prevent further kind of provocations as we are seeing now. And my heart goes out to the people of Crimea. And by the way, this is the old ploy. Take over a country, have a referendum. 90% approval?
Just to be clear, you believe Crimea is Russian, and it's not coming back?
No, I do not believe it's Russian. In fact, I believe this is a blatant violation of a treaty that the Russians signed in 1994 that guaranteed Crimea as part of Ukraine and the territorial integrity of Ukraine. This is a blatant violation of treaty that they signed, much less. And you know, you hear about, I hate to go back in history, but a majority Russian population. That's because Stalin deported the entire population.
Very true, and a lot of them are coming back too. But you listed a number of things that the administration could do, and they are not yet moving on any of that.
Well,
but I asked you whether or not any of that would bring Crimea back into the Ukrainian fold. And you said no, but now you're saying Crimea is still not lost. I'm just trying to figure out and pin down precisely your position.
I continue to hope that it's not lost, okay? I will continue to hope that parts of Georgia are not lost and part of Moldova are not lost. But I think we have to look at it realistically and accept, at least in the short term, that it's lost because we don't have an option to remove him. But that doesn't mean we don't respond and respond vigorously, including a fundamental reassessment of our relations with Vladimir Putin. Get rid of this.
I have 1 minute to ask two final questions.
Sure.
The Prime Minister will be at the White House this week. Does that matter?
I think it helps. I think it helps giving him a signal because, as I said, I'm worried about what more the Russians do, particularly in eastern Ukraine. So I think it's a good thing to do.
Today he said he will not allow 1 inch of Ukraine to leave. Does that mean more bloodshed?
I don't know what they can do militarily. They're facing a very, very strong military force. And in Georgia, a mistake was made by Saakashvili by initiating a conflict. He's in a very difficult, impossible situation. But this didn't happen by accident. And all the apology, all the rationale by the administration's spokesperson, this is a result of a feckless foreign policy.
Senator McCain, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Bill.
We'll talk again. We'll be right back.